Well, good evening. Queenetus here. What is up, dudes? Jesus Christ, life is crazy. I just still can't believe that I'm alive and I'm a human and I get to talk to you on here. It's so cool. The day that you realize that you have put in the work, like when everything clicks, when everything starts making sense. A day like today, or a day like tomorrow. We never know when. But as long as we keep our eyes on the prize, aka growth, that day is gonna come. I can guarantee you that. There's more to life. Yep, you're right. There's more to life than just what we have been doing. It's like it was all good, fun, and games until we became aware. Like, okay, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do I feel empty again? What happened? What was that? If you're listening to my podcast, I'm pretty sure you're an old soul. I don't think a young soul will be able to put through, be able to last through an entire podcast of mine. Young souls are distracted. They're happy. They're happy hanging out on the weekends and organizing parties and socializing a lot with a whole bunch of different people. They know everybody, but not really anybody, if you know what I mean. That's just one example of the disconnection that we experience on the daily, but it's masked under different pleasures and distractions and repressions and retractions. I mean, if you think about it, think about everything that we go through to try to ignore something that hurts inside, you know? Like, it's crazy. I mean, people become drunks, drug addicts, sex addicts, codependent, codependent people, bullies, haters. If you think about it, I read this meme one time and it always stuck with me. Anger is sad's bodyguard. And it's so true. It's so true. Oh my God, it's so true. Like when you see somebody really angry and really like being out of character and being mean and rude and not really very polite, you can just sit there and think about what he's going through inside in order for him to act that way. Like, but we never get there. We never go there because we're always so caught up into how we feel and not understanding how we feel. Like we get caught up in what we feel, but we don't really know why we feel the way we feel. Until one day you wake up and you're like, okay, there has to be more to life than just what I have been going through. And there is. There's a lot more to life. There's a lot more to life. But it all comes within. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there that's gonna make it happen for you. That's gonna do the trick. That's gonna give you a shortcut. Not at all. You have to put in the work in every single way, spiritually, emotionally, physically, socially. There's a lot of work to be done. You have to have a lot of courage, a lot of want and urge for growth in order to get through this. Otherwise, you can just like live on the surface, like the young souls of the world, which is fine, but it just really hurts a lot when I see them never understanding the source of their pain. Not everybody can understand it. So if you are even wondering about where your pain comes from, then you're lucky. Because most people do not think about, hey, why do I feel this way? Why do I hurt that much? Why did my parents treat me like that? What did their parents do to them? Well, is it a cycle? Was it their fault? I know they did the best they could, but still I got hurt and traumatized. And I'm just now finding out. It's crazy, but it's really cool if you think about it. If we look at it from a logical, very sensible perspective, then it's fun to look at, right? If we sit there and start like being on emotional about it and like try to relieve the past and the memories and the pain, yeah, it sucks. So what we have to do is just like kick in the Aquarius side in ourselves, because we all have Aquarius in us, and Aquarius is just like to dissect feelings. Why? And some people say that Aquarius is cold, but that may not be the case. It's just a different way to look at feelings. Instead of being consumed by the emotion and the feeling in that moment and not being able to think and make sense of what's happening, you actually like sit there for a second and think about it like, okay, well, they treated me badly. It's not because I'm a piece of crap. It's maybe because they don't feel very good about themselves. Next, how many years, how long do we spend just sitting there worrying about what other people would say to us or thought of us? I mean, all the way to not too long ago. I mean, for me, like not too long ago. Like it's very new, very meaning like wholeheartedly, right? Like I've been on a process of not, giving a damn about anybody, what anybody thinks about me. But it finally like kicked in like in the last couple months, like in a way that I have never experienced before. I mean, I'm sure I still care about what the people that I love think about me in a way or another. Maybe like, yeah, I need to be more present, or I need to return their calls, or I need to be more expressive, things like that. I think about that. There is more to life than what you have been going through and what you have been experiencing. All those crazy, toxic patterns that you keep on repeating over and 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 over again and over and over and over and over. It's just like, wow, dude. I mean, it took me forever to figure it out that, hey, maybe, yes, you feel like the victim, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're your own oppressor, because you're not allowing yourself to get away from the things that are hurting you, aka self sabotage. Did I say that right? Sabotage. Sounds like my last name, Sabogal. Self sabotage is like real. Oh my god, I'm so guilty of it. I still do it. I still do it to this day. A lot less than before, in more less hurtful ways, I guess you can say. But still, I do it. Like, no, dude, like, focus. Focus. Every 20 minutes, I'm looking at my phone just for a second. And then I go back. No, focus. Like, really, let's take this to the next level. Like, I know you can sit, and this is me telling myself this. Like, I know you can sit there and be alone and work towards some stuff that you've been wanting to get done. Like, I know I can do that, but can you do that like 1,000% focused on it? That's what I'm practicing. So today I invite you to start practicing life, to start validating your own self. You don't need anybody else to understand that there is more to life than this. You don't need your peers' permissions or acknowledgement or agreement that yes, life feels empty without a purpose. That's what it all boils down to, if you really want me to be honest. Why do we feel so empty and disconnected and depressed and sad and hopeless? Because we are not plugged to our purpose. What is our purpose? Our gifts in service to others. When we put our gifts in service of others, in service to others, when we reach that level, then we're really happy. Before then, it's all just building up till then. And some people make it and some people don't. Like, I think of life like the Squid Game, you know? Yep, the survival of the fittest, but not just physically anymore. It's emotionally. That's where we're at right now, the age of Aquarius or whatnot. It's not about who's stronger physically, it's about who's stronger emotionally. We have stepped up to the next level. We gotta be smarter, guys, with our feelings. You know what I mean? It's enough. Like, how are we going to let some strangers come and ruin the rest of our days just because we are so unsure of our own selves? Why? Because we don't trust ourselves. Why we don't trust ourselves? Because we haven't kept our promises to ourselves. We haven't challenged ourselves. We haven't really interacted with ourselves because we have been surrounded by people, surrounded by habits, surrounded by circumstances that have not allowed us to grow, and we have allowed it to happen. So now, fast forward some years later, we find ourselves in the situation where we must spend time alone. Like, the relationship that we just had didn't go the way that we wanted it. We got divorced, or I lost my job, or I had babies, and now I still feel as mm, unhappy as before. But maybe not as unhappy, but like, babies didn't change my perspective on happiness after all. Or whatever the reason is, when you try to do something and when you end up doing something that you think is going to make it better and it doesn't, that's what I'm talking about. Like relationships, drugs, habits, alcohol, toxic friends. When you think that keeping all these unhealthy situations around you are going to make you happy, but they only make you happier in the short term, then you end up paying your dues for keeping that bad habit around you for that long. You know, it's karma, it all comes back. We have to learn harmony. We have to learn flow. We have to learn existing effortlessly. It's a great feeling. Not that I live in it 24/7, but one thing I can tell you for sure, the more that I trust myself, the more that I get to experience that feeling. It's just that the part to getting to trusting yourself that much really sucks. It's like boot camp. Imagine yourself going to the army or the air force or the Navy SEALs, and you have to go through boot camp. Not that many people make it through because it takes a lot of self discipline, courage, being constant, being reliable, always trying to do better, being aware, calling your own BS out, pushing toxic people away from you, remaining as healthy as you can. It takes a lot of work. To be honest, I don't even know how I did it. I mean, now that I'm done, because I'm not, I don't think I will ever be done. Nobody can ever be done growing because growth is infinite. That's the best part about it. It gives me chills just to think about it. It's infinite. That's why it's so exciting. It's like you don't know how much more you can grow. There's no limits. That's why it's so exciting. That's why it never goes away. That's why I always preach that that kind of happiness is the type of happiness that never goes away. It's forever lasting because you never know how much you can grow. And if you're in love with growth, then there you go. It's like a good toxic relationship. It's like actually like good twin flames. Like you spark each other's growth, and you keep on growing and going, but it's healthy instead of just being toxic. Because okay, let me explain toxic twin flames really quick, just for the record, and then I will shut up and let you go. So twin flames are supposed to be like the type of people that you so so one soul splits into two, right? And then you reincarnate in the next life, and then those two souls that came from one soul go around, and then at some point in that lifetime they find each other, but they find each other to trigger each other's growth through not so positive events, but they feel this passion and this love and this intensity. That's how you know it's your twin flame. Whenever you meet somebody and you're like, oh my God, what is happening? This is crazy. That kind of feeling that you just can't help yourself. That's when it's your twin flame. If it's not your twin flame, then it will just feel more chilled. But we think that that feeling it's good and healthy, and it's not. It's just your body telling you, like, dude, like, watch out. They're going to break your heart into pieces. If you look it up and look up what butterflies really mean when our bodies feel butterflies. Well, but that's a whole new podcast for another day. I'll make sure I do that. For now, it's just a matter of being aware that there's more to life than what we have been going through, and that there is more to life than just our own ego walls. You have to really call your own BS out. Like, hey, I have been lazy. Hey, I have been stagnant. Yes, why? There's nothing wrong with being the things that we are. There is something wrong with remaining ignorant about it and acting like it's not happening when you goddamn well know it's happening. Anyways, till next time.